Space Marine 3 is officially in development. I think this comes as no surprise after the success of Space Marine 2. How are you not excited for this, Cream?
Because I know the game's not coming out for fucking years. Go look at how much, how much shit that fucking Saber is working on? I'm actually going to search up everything that they have in development right now while you continue.
Well, they've got that Turok game that's been announced. That's being developed. I know that off the top of my head. They've got a few other IPs, like major IPs that have that been thrown at them to make games for. So yeah,
well,
they've got a fuck ton on their plate.
They've also got the roadmap of Space Marine 2 as well, which they still haven't gotten through. We're not even through year 1 yet, and it does say year 1, so I don't know what that means, how many years they've got planned for this game. But yes, Cream, you are correct that this game's not going to be out for years, but I am fine with this. Just the announcement that there will be a Space Marine 3 at some stage. I'm totally fine with this, in all honesty, man. The way Space Marine 2 ended, I would have actually maybe have preferred a DLC to continue the story, because it does have a pretty big fucking cliffhanger or ending. But let's get through this. So big news straight out of Ultima. The third installment in the action-packed Space Marine computer game series has been announced, brought to you by Saber Interactive, Focus Entertainment and Games Workshop, the partnership behind the critically acclaimed 2014 hit Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. The upcoming title promises bigger battles, more action, and more enemies to purge. And that, Cream, is why I am fine with this announcement, okay? Because by all accounts, Space Marine 2 was better than I thought it would be. It gave me like the old school. I consider Space Marine 2 top 3 Gears of War games ever fucking made, right? And if they can one-up that again, we are cooking so fucking hard. So fucking hard. Specific details on gameplay, setting, and factions will be tightly under wraps, but we can confirm that Space Marine 3 will boast an all-new immersive campaign and multiplayer modes. All right, now here's just the quote here. We have been honored by the incredible response from fans following the launch of Space Marine 2. We'll continue to support the game with exciting content and regular updates in the coming years. Today, we're thrilled to announce that the adventure will continue with Space Marine 3. Players can look forward to immersive campaign, multiplayer mode, and innovations that will redefine the standards of third-person action games. Let's go! I'm fine with that. That sounds great to me. We view this as an opportunity to create a true love letter to the Warhammer 40k universe, which I think some people will argue that Space Marine 2 was exactly that. So yes, Space Marine 3 is likely years away, but the good news is we still have years of support of Space Marine 2. I'll be honest, I see this as a fucking win.
Oh man,
no,
yeah.
I get that where you guys are coming from. My problem isn't the fact that they're working on another game. It's the fact that they announced it already. This is one of the worst fucking trends in gaming, and we've seen it where it's like, here's the announcement. Like here, so anyways, we're working on this. We put out a little presser thing or a tweet on Twitter, and then we try to hype you up again. You've lost my hype. I'm hyped for Space Marine 3, but by the time they announce it, I won't be as hyped. And I'm
going to disagree with you on that because of this part here. Years of support for Space Marine 2. So by the time this all starts to wind down, you're going to be getting more information about Space Marine 3. The way I see this is honestly, it's probably a shareholder thing. They're probably just trying to, fondle the shareholders a little bit more. And they were like, yo, Space Marine 2 was a banger. What's the plan there? And they were like, years of support, Space Marine 2, and we will do Space Marine 3. And the other thing to this, Cream, is I think this is just a way to address probably people like me that were saying, that ending, I want more after that ending. It's a way of go, hey, we're going to keep you interested. The same way like Halo 2 ended. We're like, you can't just fucking end it like that. What the fuck? I'm like, don't worry, you will get a new one. It's going to take fucking years. Same with OG Modern Warfare 2. I know a place. Cut to Black Soprano style. And then it's just, we will give you a new one. Let us cook. That's how I'm saying this.
Yeah, I get that.
Explained all in a comic, though, but that's neither here nor there at the moment.
But we all knew we were getting another Space Marine game. This is like the world's worst kept secret. This is like saying Lethal's gay. We all know. And we're just all pretending like I don't know if it'll happen or not. No, we know it's going to happen. But like, let me bring up how far away this game probably is, because there's a shit ton of stuff in development. Right, so this is probably no longer in development. Well, actually, there's no release date yet, so it might be. So the Toxic Commando game they're working on. Jurassic Park Survival has no announced date. A game called The Nightling is coming out. A game called Blighter, Descent, Era Combat. Rails of Fury, Train Defense. Most of those look like mobile games, but still takes time to develop those. Then we have the KOTOR remake, whatever the fuck is happening with that. We have a Painkiller game. Yeah, they're bringing back Painkiller, and they're working on that. We have Avatar The Last Airbender, whatever the hell they're doing with that. The Turok game, and then we have Warhammer. And then we have stuff that they haven't even announced that may even come out before that. So that's where I'm like annoyed at this, where I'm like, I would rather you get through what you have for Space Marine 2 than say, hey, we're working on this. It's going to be a long time. To do it right now, I think you blow your load a little early. And we've seen it. We look at GTA 6. They put out the trailer and then we get nothing for like almost a year now, right? Like over a year now. We've had basically nothing. That's a problem with Nintendo Switch, where they announced it and then they kept being like, guys, we're not talking about it. We're not talking about it. It started pissing people off.
Where I would say this might be a little bit different to those particular examples is all this really got was just an announcement and in development, which, yeah, I agree. I'm with you. Mm-hmm. I don't think anyone likes the trends of announcing shit way too early. And yes, I think everyone was expecting a Space Marine 3. Purely, forget the ending to the game, just purely off how well it sold and went above their expectations. And didn't Games Workshop even comment like a month after launch where they were like, yeah, this is above and beyond what we were expecting. So
yeah,
we're going to do more. All I think this is just them being like, here, actually, I kind of see this as a way to kind of promote Space Marine 2 a little bit more. Okay, we got to get through years of Space Marine 2, hopefully years, and then we're going to get Space Marine 3.
Yep.
Yeah, and their plans. You don't have to use a sequel to promote promote the game that's currently out. I don't like this idea of we just complained about Skyrim. We complained about Skyrim's announcement. We got to complain about this too. It is the same situation. I know it's slightly different and we can play semantics games, but it's the same. Well, look at, especially for the Switch. I'll just finish this and I'll let Jono talk. The Switch is the exact same situation where they're like, yeah, we're working on it, but we're not ready to fully do anything with it yet. And then we had to wait all that fucking time for it. And that was fucking terrible. We'll call that out. We have to call this out. Even though I like Space Marine 2, I'm confident that at this point, based off of what we have from Space Marine 2, that Space Marine 3 will probably be a pretty decent game, if not one of my favorite games when it does release that year. I'm still going to be excited for it. It's just a stupid move.
Very much. Yeah, it is. I'd have to agree with you. If you're going to announce this, you should have given us a trailer after you got the concept designs done for this game, after the pre-production's all set up and you have a plan, a pipeline that's actually all built together to build this game, and you have something to present. That's when people should be. But even still, that being said, Elder Scrolls 6, that's what they did to us with that, and we're still waiting for fucking anything else from it. And it's really unfortunate to see something like this happening if it's just because for the shareholders. But but with the track record of Saber Interactive, that's why there's a lot of confidence. But that being said, we had a lot of confidence with Bethesda when they announced stuff like that as well, like Elder Scrolls 6. But with Space Marine 2, this is a shareholders thing. I have to agree with y'all on that. What I do really like about this is that they are still all the same dedicated to Space Marine 2. They still have their roadmap that, as far as the leaks have shown, it's going on until like sometime in the middle of end of 2026. That's what they have everything planned. The next patches that are coming up, Horde mode's just around the corner, and the leaks that I have seen about Horde mode, holy shit, this is not your ordinary Horde mode. You're going to have now this is all just rumor, leaks going around, but there's going to be this a summon system where you can bring in soldiers from the Imperium, all the way from the vehicles, troops, and the dreadnoughts that you see in the campaign. It's all going to be part of this Horde mode system that they have coming in. And alongside with that, they're going to continue giving us launches of new, what they've been doing with content, cosmetic content, the founding chapters, the first, the legions. They're all going to have all their successor chapters come in. The next ones you see there is season 4. They haven't announced it, but the leaks are starting to show that it's either going to be the Blood Angels or the Space Wolves. So and that spans up to about 9 seasons. That's what the leaks are saying. They have 9 seasons all set up, that's rolling, that's being put into development. So they are giving this game everything they've got for sure. And to what we're seeing in the matter of like what I've been saying since this roadmap has showed up, the pace, it's going to go well. It fits well in line with what's going on here. Like you see, season 4 ends around mid 2025, they're going to have 2 more seasons. And then with that, be 5 and 6. Then they'll have 3 more seasons going on for 2026. They want to do a lot of stuff, a lot with this IP, and they know there's a fuck ton of money behind it, which gives them the confidence. But you still have, Cream is still right. You have to be wary about these things because you don't want to be sitting on your ass 3-4 years later and in that hindsight thinking, oh well, I had all that hype for fucking nothing.
Here's a great idea. Why the fuck didn't you announce all the shit that Jono said?
Because it's all kept in surprise. They want to keep it until like a few weeks to a month before they release it.
All you have to do is put out a thing of, we're gonna have season 3, 4, and maybe announce one thing per season, and then a bunch of question marks. And guess what? Everyone's gonna be like, oh, what's going on there? What's going on there? And guess what? They only have to wait half a year, not like a fucking half a decade. Like,
would you be better if it said Space Marine 3 is being written?
No, I don't want to fucking hear about, like,
you don't want to hear anything about Space Marine 3.
I want to hear. Here's the thing. I don't want the company to announce it before it's anywhere close to being ready. If we hear leaks about it, cool. But we heard leaks that Space Marine 3 was gonna start up and it was gonna be Saber and stuff. That's okay. You can't control what gets leaked out there, but you can control what your company does as messaging. And you're doing yourself a disservice there.
I'm so hyped for Space Marine 2 and Space Marine 3. I love it. I'm happy.
Yeah, you're cum drunk or something right now. Like. Me and Jono, we got our heads on a swivel here. I think I agree with what Jono was saying too. Like, and I think we're kind of in agreement here. Lethal over here, he's just cum drunk.
No, I'm with you. It's probably announced a little bit too early, but I'm just happy to know that they're still working. That they're like,
but they haven't even written a fucking line of words for the script for the game.
Well, that's what that could mean. Like, in development is such a broad term. It could just mean they sat down and said Space Marine 3. All right, it's officially been said.
Yeah.
Why announce it then? This is my thing.
Probably, like I said.
Well, it's like, it's what Lethal said. It's a shareholder thing.
But here's the thing.
That's all.
You could get an even bigger bump by saying, hey, Space Marine 2 has a lot of fucking awesome shit planned for it. And everyone's going to be like, oh, do they? And then when you're ready for Space Marine 3, you can hit them with that. And that's a big bump too. You literally missed out on a big bump as a company. For a corporate standpoint, I don't see it making sense at all. You could have been like, hey, the shit we have planned for Space Marine 2 is fucking wild.
You're not wrong. I don't disagree. I'm just happy to know that they're not giving up on.
Nah, you're just drinking semen.
Nah, because like it's just the way Space Marine 2 ends. It's the same way Space. It's probably because there was this massive gap between the two games, and a lot of people were pissed. Granted, I didn't play Space Marine 1 when it first came out. The people that did, they had to fucking. They were starving. They were like fucking not fucking Jeff Keighley knock, but they were actual fucking knock.
Yeah, starving Marvin.
Starving Marvin, right? And they had to wait so long. They had to wait so fucking long to get an announcement that something was being worked on to continue the story. And that's what I think this is. I think this is just them being like, hey, it's not happening again. You don't have to have a fucking 15 year gap, whatever it is. We are going to get to it. It is something we're already, considering working on, that type of shit. Because the way Space Marine 1 ends is just, all right, now what? It doesn't even feel like an ending to a game. It feels like an ending to a chapter, and you're going to go into the next chapter of the game. Except it just cuts, right? Space Marine 2's ending kind of the same, honestly, except it does tie up a bit more loose ends. So just to know that they're going to be continuing Titus's story, who I personally think they're trying to Master Chief. I think they're trying to Master Chief him, Marcus Phoenix him, where you look at him and go, yeah, I know who that dude is, even if I haven't fucking played it. They even did it with Secret Level. They made him the main character of that Secret Level. When honestly, that could have just been fucking any Space Marine without a fucking name, without a helmet on, you just have him ripping shit up. Except they deliberately went out of their way to go, it's basically fucking Master Chief, right? They want to do the same thing to go, hey, you're not going to be fucking sitting there starving. Hold on. Don't fucking hang yourself because this game will eventually come out. That's all I think that is.
But put the focus on the shit that's going to be out soon. That's the thing. Like, again, just don't announce it. People know it's gonna happen. They do. I don't think there's many people out there being like, oh, I wonder if they're gonna do a Space Marine 3. Maybe casual fans. But guess what? Those casual fans tell them that, hey, you still should be playing Space Marine 2 because we have a ton of great shit for you. And guess what? When you get through that great shit, you're gonna be at the point where you're in a better position to announce Space Marine 3. I think they jumped the gun That's all I'm trying to say. And
no, I agree with you, Crane. I agree with
what
what you're saying. I agree with everything you're saying. I'm just trying to get. I think this is why they did it.
Oh well, they're gay.
You think everyone's gay?